Hello everyone, Daniel Kerr. We're going to be doing some Akai Force creation with the Metaforming sample pack, and I'm just going to show you how fast we can smash some stuff together, right? In under an hour, we're going to get some a significant movement going, right? Right now, I'm turning the Force on, and what I'm going to do first is load up a blank template set, all right? This video, it's not super clear, but now I'm going to go to load. Going to go to the card, which is my SSD, and I'm going to choose the Metaforming sample pack, scroll down to project files, and load blank with drums, which basically gives me a full palette of drums on one channel. It also loads up a template. As you can see, we have a bass, synth, drums. Now there's two drums in here. This is the drums that the template blank drums loads up, as you can hear, and then there's another drum channel you can see, and then there is effects, or vocals, excuse me, and then effects, and they're all color coded, and they're all sent to different bus groups, all right, and there is an effects template as well, okay? Here there's nothing on any of these except for those drums. So let's lay down a beat real quick. We're going to stay in 111 BPMs. I'm changing this to changing the position of these. Excuse me. I'm messing with the poly, actually. Laying down some hi-hats. We're going to stay in 111 BPMs and at G minor, which is the same as the last two videos I did on the ESX and on the ES2. At 111 BPMs, it's kind of slow. Just a good side chill. Tempo. Gotta look at the clip. Make sure those kick drums are on time, and they are. Gonna do some. Add a snare. It's going to be a bit of noise in the background. I do have a family. We're all awake. It's a Saturday. It's amazing. I missed one, so I'm waiting for the clip to roll back around again. Okay, now I'm going to go to the bass. I'm going to stop the sequencer. I'm going to go back to load. I'm going to go up one level, and I'm going to find some synths. Going to start loading some synths and some basses. The sample pack has thousands of synth and basses, and it's nice to be able to audition them as I'm loading them on the Force. I'm like listening, like that one, load. Just choose one and just press the dial to load. Go up. Gonna choose, I think, some basses. Like that one. Need to get better lighting in here so the screen shows up clearer. Or I should have put it on a white background. Actually, that helps a lot. These are pads. This is inside the synthwave construction kit, which is inside of the mini folders, in one of the mini folders that are in the Metaforming sample pack. A lot of retro sounding synth notes in here. They're all in C, obviously, so you can use them in key groups easily. Alright, so now there's nothing on there. I'm gonna go to menu and open up track edit, go to samples, and start scrolling through. Gonna fix the envelope to give it a release. Make sure it's in mono because this is gonna be a bass lines. Monophonic, not monaural, obviously. If you leave it in poly, because they're bass, you know, the nice low frequencies, they blend together. And nobody wants that. I want the new note to cut off the last note for a bass line. Just listening. Now right here I've started I've hit record, but I didn't choose a clip. I don't realize that yet. Now I've realized, like, what happened? Oh, there we go. Check the clip, make sure that it's the right length, and the timing of the notes. Now he's drinking coffee in these videos. Now I'm going back to track edit. I'm just going to scroll through some of the sounds. Sounds beautiful. Now I'm going to synths. Obviously this is in a higher register, so I like to leave these in poly. Not always. Mono synths are fun, but now if you noticed in the macro knobs here, those knob number 2 and 3 are sends to reverb and echo respectively. If you hit shift and note, you can get this note configuration for your own force. It's start at root and it's in G minor. Fix the length. Now I've made a copy of that track because all the buses are all set, so I made a copy of the synth track, put it on the end. I'm going to add another synth line. As you can see, I've already deleted the clip, the copied clip. Now I'm going to go and record a new synth line. Check the length, fix it. change the voice. Okay, now I like that, but I'm going to pitch that note, that sample down 12 semitones or a full octave. Now those that I'm touching, those macro knobs are send and return for the drums to the reverb and echo, and I'm realizing that the buses aren't set for that track for some reason. So I'm gonna add a limiter. Tried the maximizer first. Gonna change it to limiter. Give it a tiny boost, make it reduce just a tad. Now I have a limiter also with a 0.3 decibel ceiling on the main outputs 1 and 2 for this entire template. Now I'm changing it to sub 3. Which sends now to echo and reverb. I'm going to set some levels, I think. Go to volume, turn everything down, but the drums I'm going to start mixing just a little, just so I can continue working without it sounding like cacophonous garbage. Okay. Fade in that bass line. Off time bass, fade in synth 1, fade in synth 2. Every time you make a copy of one of these channels, you have to put it at the end, past the template. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do soon is right there, choose the position and put it next to the other synth so I can keep everything together.
Mom, can we go outside and set up our camping game?
I hear baby girls. Putting those basses together, made a copy. Go in and choose a different sample. Excuse me.
I will. I brought the door. That the clip length was off. It's not. Up some new stuff. Some breaks.
I like that one because I'm loading up breaks, but I'm not looking really for a kick drum. I'm looking for mostly top stuff. Go into sample edit, choose the break. I'm going to hit those headphones at the top so I can touch the wave and hear it auditioned. I'm going to go down to chop, and I'm going to change it to BPM. So it chops it into equal spaces because it's a trimmed bass. Or excuse me, a trimmed sample. Now I'm listening to it. Okay, I'm going to go and pitch the whole sample up. And then go back to chop right now and listen to all of them chopped and pitched. Now I'm going to go shift and process and have it create a new drum track with the events. Now if I go back to matrix, there it is. Oh, there it is. It's at the end. So let's hear it. Well, actually I'm changing the color and I'm changing the position. I'm putting it with the other drums, and I'm going to change the color to sky, which is what my drums are all colored. I really wish this screen was clearer, but I hope you can catch what I'm doing. It might require some pausing. Soloed it so I could hear it by itself. I'm going to go to effects for that channel. Try a delay. Change that to dotted eighths. Change the timing. It's bouncing all over. Ultimately, I end up choosing something different. Just experimenting. I think I'm going to fade the high pass filter in here. Yep. Go to the next one. Add a filter, I think. Yep. Now here I'm looking for a bandpass filter and I'm not finding it, and then I remember there's filter modes right here. So choose bandpass. And I use the drive. I'm experimenting with some of the drive, give it some crispiness. Bit crush. Ultimately, I just choose distortion. Now I hear it with everything. I'm going to fix the names. Call this bass 2. I'm going to add something to this bass. Some distortion, so that first stab is hard. Yep. Got rid of that delay. And I'm going to add an auto pan. Modulation. You can hear it auto panning. I'm going to go to the settings. And I can't really see what I'm doing. I think I'm turning the wet up so that it pans harder. And I'm going to change the timing to 1/4, if I remember right. Maybe not. Make a copy. for another synth. Delete the clip. I'm still in bass, I haven't realized. Ah, there we go. Actually, there we go. Now I'm going to choose a new synth sound for this brand new track. Choose one of those pads. Hello everyone, if you like what you're hearing in this instructional video, then consider buying the pack. The link is in the description. Go to ghostwrittenclips.com. It basically has over 5 gigabytes of material, including clips, thousands, literally thousands of one-shot synths and basses and drums and effects. It's got ARPs, it's got stems for different movements and tracks, it's got project files for Korg ES2, Korg ESX, Novation Circuit, Akai Force, and of course all of this material can be used in any DAW or sampler. Also, in case you guys didn't know, I'm retiring all the packs that are on there now and I'm moving into a new paradigm. So if there's anything on the site that you want to have, now's the time to get it. Anyway, let's get back into it. Love these scales and note modes. So much stuff you can do with them. So many ways to play out a performance and you never know exactly what you're going to get. It's often perfect. Okay, so I moved that track over with the other synths. And now I'm making copies of things and going to add 8 rows here just to see. Oh, don't like that. I'm going to undo. It moves everything too far down. Undo. Now I'm going to hit edit and launch and choose 1 bar. It inserts 1 bar, as you can see. Now I'm going to start copying some of these things and just arranging a little bit, getting ready for the next section. I copied this clip up. Fire off the next row. I'm going to copy those drums down. Okay, I don't want that pad coming in so quickly. So I'm going to copy the pad down a few rows and delete it. Listen for one of these arts. I think that sounds good. I'm going to copy that up there for the next row. Delete those drums. Just the highs, like the high drums, top drums. That distorted bass is actually too loud, but I don't know if I ever adjust it. Actually, I'm choosing a new sound, it looks like. Could go back to effects inside of, yep, checking volume because I need to raise it up with this new sound. So I think I go to effects inside this synth track edit, and I think I add a limiter there and give it some boost. Loud. I think I adjusted on the main mix. Taking things in a new direction. So I make a copy of the Power Kit drums, the template drums. Make a copy of that track. Just listening. So I made a copy. You can see that up on the screen. Now I'm in the new channel. And I'm attracted to trap beats, as everybody knows, actually. It's punchy snares and 808s. I mean, these aren't 808s, it's the heavy kicks, but it's kind of hard not to love that much punch. Oops, I obviously used, I have to undo, used the wrong two snare pads. I'm going to delete all the clips that got added when I made a copy and pasted the channel. Now I made a copy of that new clip, and I'm going to add hi-hats to the second one. That rim shot there. Turned on the ARP, shift and ARP to get the timer up to 30 seconds. Oops. Just listening around. Performance, hit undo. Now, I listen back to this and I like it, but there's obviously a part where it's kind of sparse with the hi-hats. So what I do is I end up choosing a new pad down at the bottom, an unused pad right there. Okay, then I go to load and I go to effects drums in the sample pack. A lot of these are huge files that are meant to be sliced, that have a lot of glitches and stretches and stutters. All right, I decide to choose that one. Look at the sample. I fix the envelope so it doesn't fire off the whole clip. Give it just a little release so it fires off just a tiny piece of the entire sample. And then I look at it. At that point I don't realize that the ARP was on. Now the ARP's off. Don't like that. I mess with some things in the sample itself. I see that it's loud enough, so it's all the way max, so I'm going to add a limiter to that, just that pad. Give it some boost. Start messing with the start point of the sample a little bit. At this point, I'm trying to find an LFO, and I had forgotten where they were at. I do realize eventually that in the macros that it's in the envelope follower at the bottom, all the way at the end. But at this point, I'm not quite remembering. Gulp, gulp. So I start messing with the start point. My goal here is to find the LFO and send a sample and hold, or a random, to the start point of the sample. At this point, I don't know that that's not possible. Right? It should be possible. Oh my gosh. But it's not. Look how crispy the screen all of a sudden got. Okay, so I found it at in the macros at the bottom. Envelope follower, went to LFO. Set it to random sample and hold. Now I'm going to go to learn, go to menu, track edit, and I'm going to realize at this point that I can't set the sample start point to the LFO. Disappointing, right? I'm going to try another way. I'm going to undo the learn function. Open up the plus. Go to track. I think it's called Power Kit 1. Should be Power Kit 2. Edit. And nothing. Okay, not good enough. Of course, fine tune. I'm trying all different ways to make this happen. Thinking. Menu. Back to macros. And if I go looking at track, we've already done it this way. Just thought I'd check it out again. But now I see pads. I'm like, oh, okay, what pad number is this? It's not telling me, so I go back to track edit. Menu. I see D10. I can see the pad number changing at the top. So now I know it's D10, back to macros, plus, track, pads, D10. Now go into edit, and there's all kinds of new parameters that I can modulate with this LFO. However, none of them are sample start point, apparently, which is very unfortunate. But I do settle on one that I like, which is the pitch of layer 1, which is where my sample's at. This does give me some really, really incredible ideas. Unfortunately, when you write a project in the Force and you reload it, the LFO destinations don't stick, or they actually do stick, but the LFO, even though it's turned on, needs to be turned off and then back on again in order to take any, you'll see like right here. Now, happens every time, you don't know why. Maybe in a future firmware upgrade. To tell you the truth, I don't even know if there are going to be anymore. Whoops. Just trying to find a good point. And to put it right back at the beginning. Not exactly what I wanted, but it is what it is. Just experimenting with the new beat with some of the existing sounds. ready. Basically, what I've decided is to add a new bass line using that first bass track. Not a copy. All right, 40-minute mark. At this point, I'm just going to let the rest of this video play out, and you're not going to hear from me anymore. Almost winter time. I'm really, really looking forward to some cold weather. Are you? Yeah, where do you guys live anyway? Love you guys. Be blessed. Okay, so I said I wasn't going to talk anymore, but I do want to address that crash that just happened. I'm leaving it in the video. I'm not going to edit it out because it's part of the Force experience and I want full transparency. Now, the Force doesn't crash very often with these recent updates, but I am doing something odd with the macros and the effects template that I'm using. Number two, knobs number 2 and 3 are the send to for keyboard part or synth part to reverb and delay, okay? And they're not momentary triggers, so you set them and they stay. The big effects swell. And I have it set to where when you touch macro knob 1, it drops them back to 0. And that's kind of odd. It's not something that somebody would typically do with the Force, and so it caused a crash. It hasn't caused a crash except for that one time for me. I'm going to leave that in there. If it causes crashes for you, just remove the setting for knob number 1. Anyway, the Force is supposed to do all kinds of amazing things, and it does, but in practical use, sometimes it does get hung up and crash if you do strange things, and I am the king of strange things. That's why it's important after you do every function to save, and saving is basically after you've saved your project, you go ahead and you hit shift and save, and it saves your project after every action. All right, let's watch the rest of this and let it play out. Be blessed.